Big Sean and Jhene broke up after 10 years being together. What do you do after that? And also, Big Sean, after 10 years, you didn't want to marry Jhene? I just don't get how two people could be together for 10 years, never get married, and then just break up.
Okay, y'all, buckle up because we need to talk about this. After 10 years, yes, you heard me right, 10 whole years, Jhene Aiko and Big Sean have reportedly called it quits. And honestly, when I tell you I saw this coming from a mile away, I'm not even kidding. The signs were there, the energy was off, and now we finally have confirmation. Now, before we dive deep into this mess, let me just say, this isn't your typical celebrity breakup. This is a decade-long relationship, a whole child together, a life that was built brick by brick. And yet here we are, watching it all crumble. So what happened? What could possibly go wrong after 10 years of love, music collaborations, and building a family together? Well, here's where things get real messy, and I mean messy. According to multiple sources close to the situation, the main reason for this breakup boils down to one very specific thing: marriage. That's right, Jhene wanted that ring. She wanted the commitment. She wanted to walk down that aisle and officially become Mrs. Big Sean. And after a whole decade of waiting, praying, hoping, and probably even manifesting, he still wasn't ready. Let me repeat that one more time for the people in the back. 10 years. That's 3,750 days, y'all. That's longer than most people's entire relationships from start to finish. They have a 3-year-old son together. They've been through ups and downs, breakups and makeups, public love declarations and private moments. And through all of that, Big Sean still couldn't get down on one knee and seal the deal. Now, reports are saying that Jhene had given him multiple ultimatums throughout their relationship, multiple chances to step up and be the man she needed him to be, multiple opportunities to show her that he was serious about their future. And every single time, nothing. No ring, no proposal, no real commitment to taking that next step. Sure, Big Sean cares about her. Nobody's denying that. He probably loves her deeply. But here's the hard truth. Caring isn't the same as committing. And Jhene finally realized she deserved more than just maybe one day, or we'll see what happens. So after 10 years of waiting, after giving him chance after chance, after probably convincing herself that he'd come around eventually, she walked away. She chose herself. She chose her peace. She chose her future over a man who couldn't give her what she needed. And honestly, good for her. I'm serious. Good for her. Now let's rewind for a second because Big Sean actually confirmed all of this himself, and when I tell you my jaw dropped, in a recent interview with Charlemagne the God, he straight up admitted, on camera, for the world to hear, that he wasn't ready to marry Jhene. He didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't make excuses. He just said it plain and simple. Their relationship still needed a lot of work, and that marriage just wasn't his priority right now.
Stopping y'all from getting married? Y'all already did one of those secret industry weddings?
No, there has not been a secret industry marriage. I think that it's a little personal, you know what I mean? But just like, to be real with you, just like any people who have dealt with love, we've had our ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's still finding the right navigation through it all. I don't know if to me, marriage symbolizes like the best relationship. You know, people be like, well, you gotta get married. To me, I feel like having a relationship is first and foremost, and like marriage is a byproduct of that. And I feel like a lot of people get the idea of like, oh, you have to get married. But then it's like, to me, that's almost a fear-based way of thinking too, because then people begin.
Now, when I heard that, I had to pause the video and collect myself because, sir, after 10 years, you're saying the relationship needs work? After building a whole family together, you're saying marriage isn't a priority? Make it make sense because it's not making sense to me. And get this, Jhene already knew. She knew exactly where he stood on the subject of marriage. This wasn't new information to her. She had probably had this conversation with him 100 times behind closed doors. She knew he wasn't ready. She knew he was hesitant. But I think after 10 years, she was just done waiting for him to magically change his mind and have some grand epiphany about wanting to marry her. But here's the part that's got the entire internet in a complete and total frenzy. And honestly, I don't blame anyone for being upset about this. Y'all remember Naya Rivera, the incredibly talented, beautiful, late Glee actress who tragically passed away in 2020? Well, Big Sean was engaged to her back in 2013. And guess what? They started dating that same year, 2013, and got engaged after only a few months of being together. Let me say that again slower so it really sinks in. He proposed to Naya Rivera after a few months of dating. A few months? But he couldn't marry Jhene Aiko after 10 years and a whole baby, after building a life together, after multiple ultimatums, after a decade of love and loyalty. The math isn't mathing, y'all. The math is not mathing at all, and fans are rightfully losing their minds over this comparison.
For a long time, they've been on and off. It's been well over 10 years. And I guess they recently came public with it. They say they've been separated for a minute now, but they just now letting us know.
So the streets are saying that Jhene Aiko and Big Sean broke up, and a lot of people are upset for Jhene Aiko because they're like, oh my God, he wasted her time for 10 years. Like, they were together for 10 years, and now they have a kid together just for them to break up, da-da-da-da. But here's the thing. Nobody can waste your time. Jhene Aiko wasted her own time.
Twitter is going crazy. Instagram comments are wild. TikTok is having a field day. Everyone is asking the same exact question. What was the difference? Why was he ready to lock it down so quickly with Naya, but kept Jhene waiting for over a decade? What made him so sure about Naya after just a few months, but so unsure about Jhene after 10 years and a child? That's the million-dollar question that everyone wants answered. And honestly, Big Sean owes us. And more importantly, he owes Jhene a real explanation. Because from where we're all sitting, it looks really, really bad. It looks like he took Jhene for granted. It looks like he assumed she'd always be there waiting, no matter how long he took to figure things out. And that's just not fair. Now, to their credit, and I do want to give credit where it's due, sources say the breakup was completely amicable. There's no messy drama, no public feuds, no nasty back and forth on social media, no subtweets or shady Instagram posts. They ended things on good terms and are reportedly focused on co-parenting their 3-year-old son in a healthy, peaceful way. And that's actually really beautiful and mature, honestly. In an age where most celebrity breakups turn into full-blown wars with lawyers and leaked text messages and tell-all interviews, it's refreshing to see two people handle things with grace and dignity. But let's be real for a second. Just because it's peaceful doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Just because there's no drama doesn't mean Jhene's heart isn't broken. Just because they're being mature about it doesn't mean this isn't devastating for her. Because for Jhene, this wasn't just about wanting a fancy wedding or a diamond ring or changing her last name. This was about wanting a partner who was all in. This was about wanting someone who was ready to fully commit to building a future together. This was about wanting to feel chosen, valued, and prioritized. And after 10 years, she made it crystal clear, marriage was her end goal. It was non-negotiable. It was what she needed to feel secure and respected in the relationship. And when she finally realized that he wasn't going to change, when she finally accepted that no amount of waiting or hoping or praying was going to make him ready, she made the hardest, most painful decision of her life. She walked away from the man she loved. She walked away from 10 years of history. She walked away from the father of her child. And that takes an incredible amount of strength and courage. I know some people might be thinking, why didn't she just stay? They have a kid together. They've been together for so long. Why throw it all away over marriage? But here's the thing that people need to understand. You cannot force someone into marriage. You cannot drag someone down the aisle if their heart isn't fully in it. You cannot pressure or guilt or manipulate someone into making that commitment. And even if she had somehow convinced him to propose out of obligation or guilt or pressure, that marriage would have been doomed from the very start. It would have been built on resentment instead of love. And that's not what Jhene deserves. Jhene's decision to leave shows incredible strength. It shows self-respect. It shows emotional maturity. It shows that she knows her worth and refuses to settle for less than what she needs. And honestly, that's the kind of energy we should all aspire to have in our own relationships. Know your worth. Know your non-negotiables. And don't be afraid to walk away when someone can't meet you where you need them to be. Now, if you've been following Jhene on Instagram lately, and let's be honest, after this news broke, everyone's been stalking her page. You might have noticed something really interesting. 2 days ago, she posted a song snippet called Break on her page. Just a short clip, but enough to give us a taste of what she's been working on. And in her IG stories, she revealed something that honestly gave me chills. She said she's been working on that song since 2021. It's 2021, y'all. That's 4 whole years ago. 4 years of processing. 4 years of writing, 4 years of feeling these emotions and pouring them into her music, which means she's been contemplating this breakup for a long, long time. This wasn't some impulsive decision she made after a bad argument. This wasn't a snap judgment or a moment of anger. No, she's been sitting with these feelings, healing from this relationship, processing her pain, and preparing herself to move on for years. She's been planning her exit strategy while still trying to make it work. She's been protecting her peace while giving him every possible chance to step up. And if that's not the most Jhene Aiko thing ever, I don't know what is, because this is what she does, right? She turns her pain into art. She writes her truth in the most beautiful, poetic way. She processes her emotions through music. And now we're all about to get a whole album, probably multiple albums, out of this heartbreak. Her fans are about to eat well, even though it comes from a place of pain. So where does that leave us? Where does this story go from here? Well, the internet is absolutely divided right now. Some people are defending Big Sean, saying he has every right to not be ready for marriage and that nobody should be pressured into making that commitment before they're ready. Others are calling him out for wasting Jhene's time, especially given how quickly he proposed to Naya. Some people think Jhene should have been more patient. Others think she waited way too long already. But me, I think this situation raises much bigger questions about commitment in long-term relationships. Questions we all need to ask ourselves. How long is too long to wait for someone to be ready? When do you stop holding on to hope and start prioritizing your own needs? What do you do when the person you love with all your heart just isn't ready to give you what you need? At what point does staying become settling? At what point does patience become self-abandonment? These aren't easy questions, and there aren't simple answers. Every relationship is different. Every person's timeline is different. But what I do know is this: you deserve someone who's excited to commit to you. Someone who doesn't need ultimatums or pressure or years of waiting. Someone who sees your value and doesn't want to risk losing you. And if that person can't show up for you after a decade, maybe they never will. So now I want to hear from y'all because I know you have opinions on this. Are you surprised by this breakup, or did you see it coming? Do you think Jhene made the right call by walking away? Or should she have given him more time? And what do you think about the fact that Big Sean proposed to Nia so fast but couldn't do the same for Jhene after a decade and a child together? Does that comparison bother you, or do you think it's unfair to judge? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have a real conversation about this. And don't forget to like this video if you're Team Jhene, and subscribe if you want more celebrity tea and relationship commentary. Let's talk about it.